Favorite one.
Hello, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Beyond the Summer presentation of the Starletter I-League Chinese Division number 13. We're going to be looking at FTD.B versus Insane Buster, game number 2 of this 2-game series. The first game, all about momentum. It was really kind of back and forth on a couple of offenses and defenses, but Insane Buster, they drafted up the Huskar, and it was sufficient to carry them to victory. I also like seeing the Batrider actually do some work that game with a dual lane off lane. It was the Night Stalker Batrider, not one you normally see, but enough to fight well enough against the Bane and the Ember, suppress the Ember's early progression, and get that Batrider to a well-timed blink. It was within 14 minutes of the beginning of the game. So looking forward to see the new styles here in the meta shifting 6.85, and we'll have to look over at the draft to see what we're going to be enjoying for game number 2. Once again, I am Blaze, and let's take a look. So, what we're looking at here is game 1, Insane Buster had first pick. They go ahead and ban out Doom Slardar. Now, they have second pick. You'd expect the same thing, because those are great heroes to first pick. But they don't. They ban out Slardar Undying. So Tusk is the first pick for FTD.B, and immediately Night Stalker and Doom are the pickups for Insane Buster. Oh, excuse me, hiccups. Anyways, it's going to allow them to really dominate the offlane and just have tons of potential to control the mid to late. In fact, it's a Respect Huskar ban coming out from FTD.B in Phase 2, as they've already taken out the Shadow Fiend, the Darkseer, and now the Dazzle. So they don't want to face anything that they saw in the previous game, especially not when they have a Gyrocopter, who has some of the worst single target damage output of any carry. And, yeah. Now we've got Wyvern and Bounty Hunter taken off the table. The support pool is going to be thinned considerably, especially the 5-position role. Lich, I think, is a pretty high pick now. I would not be surprised to see Buster just pick Lich up for themselves here, because it's going to go to one of the two teams. I would almost guarantee it. That being said, Rubik is okay.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
No, I'm not. I mean, there's not really any negative armor setup. Bane's going to be picked up, and that's all well and good as well. But yeah, Bane's gonna be able to survive against the Tusk onslaught, get some good disables on the Gyrocopter, and force FTD.C to pick up a lot more stuns in general. They wanted to go for damage to burst down the Doom. Now they have to get more disable than they would have otherwise have done so, because Bane is very important. You have to counter that Fiend's Grip, and they're going to do so with a Clockwork. So, I talked about this earlier in the match featuring ZSMJ's team, Fantuan, but Clockwork Tusk, not my favorite duo. They do alright together, but they're not particularly incredible. But Clockwork's so good against Bane that you pretty much just have to go for it. Now, we'll have to look for if he can get to mid-game items and actually pick up like Linkets or Lotus for the Gyro, or if they're just going to have to deal with the Doom as is, a la carte. Alright, so we have Queen of Pain going to be the follow-up pick, and I feel like Insane Buster are just a step above on the tier list. Like, they're picking these insane tier 1 heroes, one for each role. I mean, the Doom is one of pretty much the tier 1 offlane next to Slardar. Queen of Pain is one of the top 3 mids. Night Stalker is an incredible support that can take the late game by storm just by vision control alone. The Bane is really solid too, being picked up more and more recently. And yeah, I think that they've got a lot going for them here on Insane Buster. That being said, carry still up for grabs potentially. Obviously there are teams like Secret that run the safe lane Doom, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that picked up by the Huskar player. But at the same time, they might look for a carry on top of this and just overall win out with this insane economy that they've got going for them. Alchemist is going to be the ban though, just to be sure of it. And of course, Templar Assassin is not really happy to go up against the Alch. She has good burst damage against him, but her refraction doesn't last long against Acid Spray. And yeah, they just wouldn't be able to contest the stacks fast enough, I think, with their current hero set. So they'll just ban it out to make sure it's not there. Of course, that was the Ancient Apparition ban as well, but it's mostly because Insane Buster are going to be relying on Scorched Earth, Brain Sap, and Mechanism to really sustain their fights. So they ban out the A, they pick up the Viper, And that just gives them momentum, I would say. They're going to have an advantage in the laning phase. They're going to have insane potential for the teamfight stage unless FTD.B look to outplay them. So we see this Phoenix come into play, and I want to see what it can do. Support Phoenix! Are you kidding me?
Prepare for battle.
There we go. So this is actually pretty cool. I did not expect this. But yeah, they've got the offline clockwork, so of course it would be a support Phoenix. And this is going to be very interesting. Because essentially what you do with a Phoenix is you turn him into a high priority disable target. You want to either crippling fear or doom the Phoenix before you can get the egg off, so you don't have to worry about it auto-attacking it down. And that means that if you can get one of those bigger disables on the Phoenix, it won't go out against the Gyrocopter or the TA, which is a really big deal. Of course, TA in the mid to late game won't really care about Doom too much either. Has the ability to just stand and right-click as long as there's something to keep her alive, such as the Sun Ray. So overall, I like the idea behind the Phoenix pick. The thing I'm worried about is if he doesn't get levels early. If James is unable to get himself a Hand of Midas, if he's unable to get himself off the ground in terms of experience per minute overall, what you're going to be seeing is them just taking down the egg so quickly with just a few ranged right-clicks. So you really have to combine the Sigil and the Fire Spirits together to make the Supernova work. Beyond that, I think it's a pretty inspired pick.
The battle
Whoa,
begins.
TA skilling Psyblades before anything is decided. I mean, yeah, you want the Psyblades in whatever, like, if you're up against a range here like a Viper or the Queen of Pain, but skilling it up before you are even approaching an auto attack is not a good thing. You just, you can easily get caught in like a rune fight with that refraction, and that would be very sad. But he's confident, he knows exactly what IB look to do at their level 1, and it seems like he's read it relatively correctly. Viper's here with Nether Toxin. It doesn't need the poison attack until level 2, when the refraction comes out. A little bit of lag here, but nothing we can't cast through. And we'll just keep tabs on what everybody's doing across the map. I got the Gyrocopter farming the safe lane with the early Wraith Band pickup. Phoenix going to be stacking and pulling, while Hitagi just hard zones the Night Stalker. It's level 1 Night Stalker. He can trade hits okay, because he's got enhanced HP regen, as well as a Stout Shield. But at the end of the day, he's still going to be pushed away from experience, and it's going to be harder for him to get momentum. No level 4 for the first night means pretty weak Night Stalker overall in terms of early kill participation. And there's a Dire Lane Ward to, of course, make sure that they keep tabs wherever he happens to go when he tries to, for example, leech experience from the jungle. Ice Shards could definitely inhibit his movement here. They're going to go ahead and block him off here, put some hits in, but James has yet to skill up a spell here. Icarus Dive obviously allows them to attack him a little bit more, but Fire Spirits is probably the spell he wants right now. Anyways, mid lane is actually going to be the TA chasing down the Viper here. Got a little bit too big for his britches. Tried to kill off the TA, and TA says, well, come at me, bro, and strikes him down. That's going to be first blood for Templar Assassin. Should not happen, but the Viper just got overzealous. He could have just poked him back and harassed him gradually, but he goes right up in his face, and he pays the price for it, as TA gets plenty of auto attacks on him. Just overzealous trading. I've seen it too many times here in the lower tiers of Chinese Dota. They all have something to prove. These guys really want to make a name for themselves, but in doing so, they make a fool of themselves by just trying too hard. What? Okay. Anyways, lane's configuration has changed a little bit. It's going to be Clockwork versus Queen of Pain 1v1. The Clockwork really can't do too much here. Even if he does max Battery Assault, it's hard to go hard on the Queen of Pain. They did rotate M31's Doom up here. Did he buy his own ward? No, that's the Banes. So, right now, Doom is above the Night Stalker. I presume that means M31 is going to be taking the offlane farm, and then Cole, of course, will just be playing that support. But they're going to dual lane for now, try to put more pressure out here, and back over to mid lane. TA's doing TA things, going for the meld strikes, but this time a Sentry Ward is in play. So it's going to be a little bit harder for the Viper to... Or a lot easier for the Viper to put pressure out here, and it's going to force the regen rune usage here, I think. So yeah, the Sentry Ward, I think he got caught by a meld the time that he fed First Blood. Their exchanges, you don't want to be in melee range of the TA, but in this case I think he wanted to scare him out of meld, and in doing so put himself in harm's way. Another meld strike going against the Viper, dropping down 130 HP. And this is just a really good lane for the Templar Assassin. I mean, it generally should be a little bit favoring the Viper, like a 60-40 lane. Instead, the TA is just dominating. Clockwork finding an opportunity here. Battery Assault not skilled. No, he went for a 0-1-2 build instead of 1-1-1. And so instead of getting what would be a free kill here with the Battery Assault, he actually loses out completely. Queen of Pain approaches level 6, going for 2 points in Shadow Strike. I think that's too much. I think probably a 1-1-3 build would have been better since the Clockwork isn't that great at contesting the lane. But his choice, not mine. And at level 8, he'll have all the skill points he needs anyways. Phoenix, how's he doing? Experience per minute, bottom of the barrel. 55 experience per minute for James. This guy's gonna have to go Midas, otherwise he's completely irrelevant this game. That really sucks. Toggy, really not getting anything done either. A Tusk that's 0-0 for the first 8 minutes of the game is not an effective Tusk in my mind. We're gonna see Clockwork here. Gonna actually set up something, but with the blink back, the Ice Shards won't really change too much. TA, oh, gets the trap here on the Viper. Viper keeps trying to trade. Stop turning around, man. You're gonna get run down. But she doesn't have a way to tango through that tree. So, oh, actually, those are already been cut through. But no, she just falls back. And still just gonna win out overall while Hotagi stacks up some Ancients for her. Another Meld Strike going through under tower. This Viper has not learned his lesson, and I'm really, really unimpressed at this point. I don't know if he's trying to call for TPs, but he is constantly in a position where he can be killed off, and at this point it should be obvious that he can't go for those trades. It's just getting worse for him now. Level 5 Viper versus a level 7 TA. And she's going for the build that I prefer here. A 1-3-2 build. She gets just enough range so that she can't be kited easily by the Viper, and he can't do the essentially orb walk back. And then, along with that, she's only putting with a 1 value point of refraction and then maxing meld, which is really good against heroes that do damage over time to you. It's good against Ember Spirit and Pudge and Viper, and it's going to be great here. Another stack from Hitagi, and TA is well on her way to start dominating the map. Viper, he almost has to get out of the lane. I mean, yeah, he has a Viper Strike now, but he doesn't have detection. He's lost his Sentry Ward, so if you meld dodge the Viper Strike, you win the next 60 seconds of the lane. And Clockwork actually might look to rotate. No, he doesn't have hook shot, but we'll just see the Ice Shards come through. That might be just enough. With the trap, the snowball, that's going to be a kill. The Night Stalker's rotation is just not potent enough. So we have ourselves a 3-0 kill score for FTD.B, 2-0-1 on the TA, all deaths due to the Viper. And I gotta say, I absolutely blame him for the current state of affairs. Everything else has been pretty swell. The Phoenix is not leveling too heavily, the Tusk isn't finding kill opportunities. Sure, Gyrocopter's free farming, but you can't really help that. But I feel like IB, all of their problems revolved around this Viper overextending. And I don't know if he's expecting TPs and not getting them, but right now he is just getting destroyed. And we see now another stack. Is that a quad stack? No, just a triple, right? No, it's actually a quad stack here. Yeah, the Granite Golem Aura doesn't stack, the Black Dragon one does.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And yeah. We're gonna see the Phoenix go for an early smoke play, it looks like. See what he can do with that. Down bottom, the Queen of Pain, how's she doing? Overall, fine and dandy. Net worth of 3270. Is that a rocket flare? I don't know what I'm hearing right now. Just perfect world things. But yes, for those that are new to the stream, Western casters do lag on Chinese servers sometimes when spectating, and it's a Dota TV thing. It's about the way the internet and the firewall works. And we're going to see that smoke movement that we saw earlier, where Gyrocopter, this is what ZSMJ did with a partner when he was playing Gyrocopter in Game 2 with Fontuan. But yeah, Gyrocopter TP is the tier 2 with call down, ready to rumble, and he goes in and tries to find a kill opportunity. With hookshot available, they should find another kill on the Viper. This one's not his fault. This one's just really good movement coming in from FTD.B, but even still, There's no hope for him. The Queen of Pain, second call down could hit her. She'll just cancel, which is the wise decision. This will cost them the tier 1 tower, but it could cost them a hell of a lot more. So yeah, that I would say 2 of the deaths are excusable. The snowball one, you know, you can't always expect a Tusk to get the perfect disables on you, and that hookshot one you definitely wouldn't expect. But the first 2 deaths were just straight up losing to a TA, and that's something you guys are perfectly entitled to flame him on. Tier 1 mid, going down. Down bottom, though, we're going to see actually Hitage in a bit of a pickle. He's going to get caught by the Sonic Wave Blink Scream, and that will be the first kill on the board for Insane Buster.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Courier Snipe? Just going in on the Bane, doesn't really do too much here. So, max Rocket Flare build here. Not necessary to scout out Roshan, so I'm curious why he actually has gone for the max Rocket Flare. You're not getting pushed in too heavily. So I would say scouting is really the value of this Rocket Flare. Just getting more vision elsewhere. But we're going to see the Doom actually caught out here. Trap and call down. And that's practically a solo kill, but they make it clean with a double. And maybe go for Roshan now. With Doom down for 17 seconds, that's just enough time to run into the pit and start beating the crap out of Roche. They have nearly max milled. I don't see why you wouldn't go for it. But they feel it runs too many risks, and they're just going to avoid it. Call up top here. Gets isolated by the Clockwork. He tried to go for a kill on the Phoenix. And while he certainly has an advantage over the Bird of Flame, we have Clockwork coming to his aid and turning it around. So Phoenix suddenly finds himself halfway through level 5 with Tranquil Boots, and the Clockwork makes another kill happen. Yeah, I guess this is definitely safer. Just go for your own Ancients. There's no risk to that, and the Gyrocopter can push the tier 1 tower. You don't have to force a Roshan, where you can just do your normal thing, and it'll work out fine too. So, taking out Ancients, great for the TA here. Oh, misses the meld, unfortunately. Oh no, it's just my lag. It's just the OTP thing.
Radiant's bottom tower
but anyways,
is under attack.
So, they're taking the tier 1, they're taking Roshan, and they're not losing their tier 1 top, which is great. Queen of Pain going to work towards Orchid, and she is highest for her team's net worth, but still going to be a decent time before she gets the Orchid finished. And it's not like a game-breaking item. It's great against Phoenix, pretty solid against Tusk, situationally powerful against TA, but it isn't going to be like a hard counter to anybody.
Dire's top tower is under
and now
attack.
the Gyro's drums are finished. And TA's Ancients as well. It's going to be a Desolator for her in no time at all. 6150 on the Templar Assassin. She's 3-0-2 with 57 CS, and a lot of those are the Ancients. A much higher gold density for these fellas here. If that was a quad stack, then you're looking at least 12 of her 58 CS is actually from Ancient Creeps, which is very clearly explaining why she has so much net worth right now. A GPM of 500 this early in the game. We're going to see a smoke play come through here. Queen of Pain looking to lead the charge with a Night Stalker to help, but it is just nearly about to hit nighttime, so this Void is only half duration. Doesn't matter. That Fiend's Grip will certainly secure a kill. So, I guess that's what they wanted. They just wanted one little pickup before nighttime, and now they can try to start get the ball rolling back. And actually a really good Sentry Ward here. Clears out a Trap, a Sentry, and an Obs, and this is going to open up the Roche Pit a little bit more for the Radiant. They can definitely start to look to contest it.
Radiant's top tower is
if
under
necessary.
attack.
Tier 1 tower up top, pretty much dead. I mean, they can glyph it,
Radiant structures
but
are fortified.
do they really want to TP some? Because they just gathered up together. They have full intention of finding fights now, and specifically fighting around Roshan. If they go to TP to the 10 defend this tier 1 top, they maybe get a deny in the tower, but they lose Roshan guaranteed. They need to be ready to fight here, and that's just a unfortunate thing. The Gyrocopter, they can't contest. That being said, Gyrocopter has 23 seconds on his TP, so for right now, FTD.B perfectly fine to sneak through the Roshan, and IB really need to get their bearings. I mean, they can't see into the pit, and full coverage coming from FTD.B. They've ready to Supernova on the cliff here. They are ready to Ice Shard block as best they can, Cog block as well, just to make sure the Roche happens, but none of it is necessary. They take the Aegis for free, and now run all over their opponents. Do you see the Bane dodging out the hookshot? Seems to be off the mark just slightly. So they're gonna actually TP mid here, and the Gyrocopter sees this as an opportunity. He's gonna get caught inside the Fiend's grip under the call down, and there's gonna be the Clockwork caught in with the Viper. So Gyrocopter goes down early, and the Supernova can be focused down easily here. They'll just get some quick right clicks in and kill the Phoenix. That's 2 kills instantly, and they still have the Doom. They'll right click down Hidagi for a third, and Templar Assassin nowhere to be found, and honestly, she just died too. That was actually an atrocious opening for FTD.B, feeling so confident with the huge objectives they've taken recently, but it shows how fragile this game can be. You walk in and with an egg that only lasts for 5 attacks, and a Gyrocopter that doesn't have anybody to cancel a Fiend's Grip, and down you go. I mean, maybe if there was a hook shot, they could have canceled the Bane ulti and turned that around, but that was obviously used here.
And it's off.
So, going to be a momentum shift, helping IB move in the right direction. They're definitely still far behind, but a chance of bringing it back for sure. Curious what this is. I mean, drums isn't bad for the Doom. And I guess that's the only thing, because I don't think he's going for Blade Mail. So for now, we're just waiting for spells to cool down and for FTD.B to make their next move. IB are purely on the defensive, probably out of their comfort zone. Last time they were fully in the driver's seat, fully in control of this game, and now we're seeing them just quite the opposite. They have a draft that desires momentum with the Viper, but right now they have none of it, at least for the next 3 minutes. That being said, if they go for a good smoke play, they might be able to get things back under control. Maybe they think somebody will start pushing top, so they're gonna walk it in up there. It's smart that they don't smoke this. It'd be a complete waste. So Sonic Wave has cooled down. A rocket flare is flying somewhere. And there was one comment I was going to make. Yeah, the mech is finished. So the mech advantage is in the Radiant's hands, but I don't think they're all that mech dependent. The Phoenix certainly doesn't care about his health pool with the egg. Templar Assassin, Refraction, is pretty much her lifeblood right there. And the Gyrocopter is fairly tanky for this stage in the game, and has the longevity of the life steal. So overall, mech could be good if the Tusk wants to pursue it, but it's definitely not like a key item to have.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And it's going to be Blade Mail for Doom. I mean, it's good against Gyrocopter spells, but Fiend's Grip actually comes out on the TA. This is an Aegis TA, but they want to commit fully for her, and yeah, just one Fiend's Grip gets them the Aegis. She does not have a blink to slip away. They'll doom her when she comes back out, I believe. Yeah, it's going to be a Supernova. They'll right-click that down. TA gets Snowball, but that doesn't matter. She'll go down as well. Now caught inside the call down. Big damage from the Gyrocopter. Great flat cannon. Call down. Right-clicking them all down, but he needs to hit once more. The crippling fear really inhibiting his damage. He could have wiped them all out, but the cripple from that Night Stalker actually saves 2 lives. The Queen of Pain and the Viper would have dropped pretty much 2 fatal rains. I'm sure the Viper would have died, but the Gyrocopter missed like 2 or 3 auto attacks in a row, so despite doing 3,200 damage, the Night Stalker saves the day with the perfect cripple, the 50% miss chance, and 5-second silence. No rocket barrage, and the auto attack. I know that he was missing because I saw the flat cannon charge sitting right here as a buff, and it just sat. He sat on 1 flag without being stunned for a long time. So it must have been very frustrating for him not be able to get that shot off. But yeah, Gyrocopter goes in, tries to clean house, still gets a couple kills in the tail end, at least kills the Night Stalker, but Viper has the last laugh. He got the killing spree on the TA and a triple kill in total, bringing him back to 4th place in the net worth. Now looking for, it looks like Aghanim's with that. I mean, BKB is not bad here because it allows you to just keep focusing the Supernova, which again is still such a low level that it's pretty easy for IB to just take it down no problem. And that's why I would have preferred drums over Blade Mail on the Doom, by the way, is because the active for drums gives the entire team like a plus 25 boost to their attack speed, so it's great against the egg. Yeah. So it's a passive 5, and it's an active 25. And you just use a drum charge every time the egg comes out, and you kill that thing so fast.
Incoming.
But for now, they haven't really gotten a lot done. Also, I think with this
Dire's
duo
top
of
tower
supports in
is under
particular,
attack.
you want the Frozen Sigil. The attack speed still goes up to 60, the move speed still goes up to 25. And it's just another
Radiant's
thing that
bottom
distracts
tower
them. They
is
can't
under
focus
attack.
down the egg,
Radiant's
and focus down the
bottom
sigil,
tower
and
is
kill the
falling.
key heroes. We're actually going to see the snowball go in through mid here. Viper's going to be taking a lot of burst damage, but Bane will just go for the Nightmare on the Tusk. Big AoE damage coming out from the ultimates. Doom isolated, Meld Strike down. Big Desolator hit
Dire's
to
top
crush
tower
this
is
Doom.
under attack. Dire's structures are
And
fortified.
they won't even get the top, I think. Clockwork, oh, he doesn't have hook shot. So yeah, they will get the top tower. Queen of Pain
Dire's top
will bring
tower
that down,
has
but
fallen.
a good kill on these two before the mechanism
Radiant's
comes
middle
out.
tower is
Before even the
under
Blade
attack.
Mill gets a chance to be used, I believe. Either way, we see the tier 2 tower going down to mid so quickly. This is the potential of FTD when they get all their ultimates off in sync. So it just really comes down to initiation.
Radiant's
FTD.B
middle
need
tower
to be the
has
ones
fallen.
in charge of making the fights happen. Gyrocopter is very interesting. Toy plane. Really? Yeah, I have never seen that shield on the side of the plane, but that is hilarious. Uh, there you go. Old man gyrocopter. He's crazy. Alrighty, so we've got ourselves a ball game. It's pretty interesting seeing the graphs go back and forth. The fights really, it just comes down to who finds what opportunity. But right now, Dire, I would say, have a significant vision lead, and that'll remain true for a long time. Cole is actually going for a Midas here. Gonna have it in just a moment. He's gonna have it at the same time the Phoenix does, but all in all, just the observers, the traps that we're seeing from FTD.B, you're gonna need a gem sooner rather than later if you're insane Buster. They're looking for a
Dire's
smoke
middle
here.
tower is
LT
under attack.
going for the smoke play. The rocket flare is just scouting short range, so they should be able to walk right through and find an opportunity in the jungle. I mean, they could go for this route, but it's a little risky. If they run up that cliff, you could easily be counter ganked. There could be 5 people waiting on this cliff, and you wouldn't even know it. But they don't see the gyrocopter with that Night Stalker's vision. They are going to go for the first path I mentioned, and this could actually get pretty dicey. Radiant do not see much right now. They saw a hero or two, but if they go in too abruptly, FTD.B could just walk away. Or in fact, they could turn it. They've got the ultimates to do so. I mean, right now, you've got a level 15 Templar Assassin, a level 12 Gyrocopter. These rank 2 and soon to be 3 ultimates just allow you to control the fight so well. Okay, the TA's levels don't matter that much, but it just shows that she's got all these stats to work with. A 2.7 agi gain, extra damage, extra tankiness. It's harder and harder to fight into. Now, Hitusk actually went for the medallion. Like I said, Mechanism is a pretty medium class item for FTD's lineup. They're much more reliant on just getting their spells off the right way. And Gyrocopter's banking 3,600 gold, so that'll be a critical item, I would say.
Boom, there it goes.
Not sure what, though. I mean, BKB is your traditional pickup, but it seems like up against Bane and Doom that he's not interested in it. Maybe he just goes for like an MKB that can break the channel of the Bane if they have vision on him. I'd say that'd be pretty solid. And they'll just continue to spread the map, take the net worth advantage over time. But he goes for the BKB, so seems the crippling fear, silence aspect is frustrating him, the magical damage that's going to be nuking him, that kind of thing. Actually, I would have preferred the MKB. That's obviously comes down to personal player preference, but I feel like there's enough that goes right through this BKB, and there's not enough that doesn't, that I don't feel like it's that valuable of a pickup. Fiend's Grip, Viper Strike, Doom, Sonic Wave, all the ultimates, as well as the overall effects are going to be causing problems no matter what. We're actually going to see Doom go out on the Clockwork here. Trinkle Boots actually kick in 10 seconds. This is only a level 1 Doom? Oh my. That only does 20 pure damage. Not very much at all. And they're actually just going to go right on the Night Stalker. 3-4 shot him. And walk away with the doomed target perfectly fine. You really just can't fight in this TA right now. She's monstrous. She got all the movement speed she needs with the Hyasha and the Blink.
Tower is under attack.
And you really have to just converge 3 or 4 heroes on her in order to actually bring her down. Clockwork with the Force Staff pickup soon.
Radiant's top tower
And a
is under
Midas
attack.
for the Phoenix. Actually, a lot later than the Night Stalker. I thought the Phoenix actually had 1,500 gold when I last clicked on him, but he didn't pick up the Midas until just now. I'd have to blame that on the courier. Just going all over the place, because he should have had that pretty much
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
4 minutes ago. 7,000 net worth and experience favoring FTD.B. Bottom lane, Queen of Pain blinking out. A little bit of damage from the gyrocopter. I mean, there is the Orchid, there is the Crippling Fear, 2 silences that annoy him. Even the Orchid damage amp is relevant here. I mean, it does increase the damage that the target receives for the duration of that debuff by 30%, unless you can heal up, but the lifesteal really doesn't matter that much. So, yeah, I would say that at least removing the Orchid is nice and valuable. I feel like he's still going to be eating a lot of spells here. And then, of course, the Enfeeble sticks if it was cast on him before he pops VG.P. So, Roshan claimed easily. No surprises there. TA takes it down in about 10 seconds time, and IB just really don't have a great initiation tool. That's the biggest thing, is like, they don't have blinks, they don't have force staffs, they have 1 blink on Doom, but he doesn't have like a Hellbear Smasher or a Centaur consumed. He has a Wolf, so while he gives an attack damage aura, while he might get a lucky crit or 2, he can't disable. That's going to be the Bane's job, and he's going to be on the back line. So I think that's the real thing that they have to be worried about, is they don't have any jump potential. They are going to blink with 2 heroes onto the Clockwork. He's out of the fight, but I feel like there's still some good potential here. If James gets the high ground egg, it's actually going to be one in the back line that gets focused down by the Doom alone, while the Gyrocopter pops VG.P and just goes to town. They'll kill the egg, and that's going to be the death of the Phoenix and the Tusk. The nice blink away from the Doom there. And then the Viper and the Bane will be the only casualties. They lose the gem, though. That gem...
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Gem. I believe that was held onto by, I mean, well, we can see who died there. There's a Phoenix, right? Yeah, the Phoenix died there, so it was purchased by the Tusk. And there you go. So, Queen of Pain does pick up a tier 1 tower bottom. The Aegis stays completely intact, as TA actually tries to pounce on mid here. But overall, it just comes down to the fact that IB, they can jump 1 target, but they have to commit everything they have to them. You don't want Queen of Pain to be and Doom to be your first heroes in. Often, anyways. Sometimes Doom can be the initiator, but like I said, he only Dooms, he doesn't slow them down. And Blade Mail is okay, but it's not anything spectacular. Desolator crit up on TA. Even if she gets doomed, she's just gonna wail on people. She'll respawn with the Aegis too, so there's really nothing to be worried about. Queen of Pain pops the VG.P, goes on Hitagi here, nothing to snowball, but he does Walrus Punch. And he's gonna snowball the Creep. Oh, that's so smart! He snowballs the Centaur since he can't snowball the VG.P hero. And that keeps him alive long enough for them to kill the Queen of Pain, taking the mega kill streak into Phoenix's wings. So she's looking really good now, 2,000 gold. She can go for that Shiva's Guard and cause some real issues for the Radiant. But I'm not even sure if the game will last that long. Right now, there's a lot of momentum for FTD.B, and this TA in particular is just so damn huge. She's got 179 CS, a lot of Ancients, killed Roshan twice, and now we actually see Bane completely caught out and isolated. That's 2 heroes down. Doom TA once, but like I said, she can still crit the crap out of you, and she'll come back. You can maybe Sunray and heal her up, but I don't even think you need to, because she'll just come back with full life one way or another. But yeah, Pops gets the refraction, and now she can just start wailing on the tier 3. Aegis is still up for another 2 minutes. This could be the end of the game right here and now before our eyes. Insane Buster doing some work, but while they had momentum in game 1, they just didn't have anything. And on an offensive force step onto the Viper, caught inside the cogs. VG.P or not, you're going down, and TA still kicking. You're gonna have to, yeah, Manta dodges both the Scream of Pain damage as well as the Viper strike. And now might die once, but they're going to look to just hit Bane with 1 stun or 4. And that'll break it all wide open. Queen of Pain pops the Sonic Wave, but TA's back, ready to fight, has a refraction on, and they'll just take the rain tracks here. Can they go for more? I don't think they need to. At this point in the game, with the draft that they have, which is very solid in the mid to late game, taking a single lane of Rex is great. If they can fake back and then dive back in for another kill, great. But forcing the issue on the top or bottom tier 3s is completely unnecessary. They can win the game just as they are right now. And that's going to be MKB for the TA. Oh, she might go Daedalus. She has Lesser Crit already. The reason I say MKB is because there is still this Crippling Fear. It is a 50% miss chance, and it is probably the best tool they have against the TA, other than the Nightmare / Fiend's Grip. That being said, she goes for the Daedalus. She just wants to get that quick burst, and honestly, she can two-shot somebody before she even gets crippled, if she gets a lucky crit, so it's still a great purchase. I would say that FTD.B are kind of Aegis dependent though, unless they are walking into like a 5v4, starting with a pickoff, which almost just happened as Call did go down to 300 HP. But otherwise, I would say that this next Roshan respawn is kind of the timer that FTD.B are really looking for to be dominant throughout the next stage. Net worth suddenly jumping to 14,000 FTD.B's favor, 15,000 experience, and I don't feel like the comeback is real for IB. Like, their items are pretty weak for it. The Doom, working on BKB or Ags now, it doesn't really matter enough. The Blade Mail Blink, having that, and that alone at 30 minutes as a Doom, who gets free Devours on creeps for 100 bonus gold, it's not enough. And of course the Queen of Pain doing what she can. She's got BKB Orchid and working on a Plate Mail. Shiva's Guard, the probable pickup, but no matter what it is, it's not a good position for them to be in. Viper, Mech and BKB only. It's just so many weak items and heroes that don't scale hard enough to take these fights. They can still control the Gyrocopter, but he's going for the MKB next, and then he's just going to wail on them anyways. FTD.B, they don't really get anything done with their smoke play. They will be able to be kings of this hill, but I think they're still going to have to wait 2 to 5 minutes before they can close the game out. And we'll see what IB can get done in the meantime. It's nighttime right now, a la darkness, but still a little ways off of the Aghanim Scepter. The Night Stalker is 1,000 gold away.
Top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
So they're going to converge on top lane here. I'm trying to think of what the next play is. They got the Aghanim Scepter now on the Night Stalker. Whether I missed an item or it was on the ground or something, I'm not sure, but Call now has it. Could have probably sold an item too. Oh, he sold his Midas! He literally just sold his hand to Midas for the last component of the Aghanim Scepter. And while they realized the game could end soon enough, and it seems reasonable, he just did it when it's about to hit daytime, where this item is actually useless. So, you know, maybe save it for one more transmute, because you've got 4 minutes until you're not going to get any value out of it, other than the 50 seconds of darkness. We see Doom caught out, just completely in no man's land. One blink hit from Hitagi, and his dagger's cancelled. They're going to use the Glimmer Cape, and they're going to bring down LT as well, it looks like. They have to get one more source of damage in here. It's going to be the Clockwork. We can just force that forward. Nice blink, and the Walrus Punch up onto the Bane, but he's still alive. He does get the Brain Sap heal. It's not enough to keep him alive, though. They will kill off the Phoenix again. For all intents and purposes, they're really good at focusing the egg, as the support Phoenix pick doesn't seem to be working out, but it doesn't matter. FTD.B have full control. They have all the damage in the world, and this TA just hits too damn hard. She is 9, 1, and 7. She is top net worth by 5 freaking K. She is double the strength of the Viper mid. The Viper mid, who should have had a slight lane advantage, is half of this TA's farm. And that's what it comes down to, is TA just started running things over with 2 free kills in mid. The Doom didn't build combat-oriented items to bring them back, and the Aghanim Scepter came out too little too late. that is going to be the game. A little anticlimactic, I will admit myself, but it was a smooth game from FTD.B. They did what they needed to do to get into this game. I like seeing unique hero combos like this Tusk and Phoenix. Not really making themselves known this game. They didn't really show their potential impact other than a couple of good Tusk plays. But overall, I did like to see something new. That being said, that is going to wrap up the broadcast for us tonight. It's now 4:30 in the morning. We only got 2 matches out because of DK's disband, and their matches have subsequently been canceled. They might actually free up some games for the next few days. I'm not too sure. I'll have to check it for the future schedule, but for now, we are done for the night. And yeah, it looks like we will be down 1 match on the 17th, and as scheduled on the 18th. So that's going to wrap up also my contribution for this week's, or this half of the week's, Starlighter China. Going to be turning it over to Cyclops for the next 2 days, and he's going to be picking up some great games of Chinese Dota for you guys, and I'm going to try to rest up and be ready to roll on the 19th, or the morning of the 19th, with some more awesome Dota 2. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the commentary here today, and hopefully you enjoyed seeing some new teams in action. They really are playing their hearts out, and I give all my respect to them as they try to perform at their best. Once again, thanks for tuning in. I'm Blaze. You can follow me on Twitter at BlazeCasting, but here signing off for Starlighter I League China.